Coming to paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer. Take a trip into the macabre world of goth modeling in the new millennium in this all-new Spinsterella story. Pre-order your copy of Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer at Amazon.com and other online booksellers everywhere. Better get the coleslaw, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue. Legendary singer, songwriter, and musician Smokey Robinson is being accused of Grape and other sex crimes in a civil lawsuit that's being filed by 4 women. Now, these 4 women, who are going as Jane Does, say that they used to work for Smokey Robinson as maids, and as they worked for Smokey Robinson as maids, they accuse him of participating in Grape and other sex crimes, including sexual battery, false imprisonment, and gender violence during the 10 years of their employment that took place anywhere from 2014 up to 2023. And all 4 of these women are seeking to get $50 million in compensation for the abuse that they allege that they suffered at the hands of Smokey Robinson and was seen and witnessed by his wife, and want to say that they deserve this compensation for all of this sexual violence that was perpetrated on them. Now, when I take a critical look at this whole allegation against Smokey Robinson, it's definitely looking to be quite suspect to me, and looking to be quite suspect to me because these women are, 1, going to file their lawsuits as Jane Does, and 2, are filing a civil lawsuit instead of a criminal lawsuit. Now, with a criminal lawsuit, you have to file a police report, and that police report is something that you're going to present as evidence of a crime, and it can be admissible in court, and you have to swear under oath to say that this is the truth. And that's where I have an issue with this whole allegation against Smokey Robinson. I mean, here you have someone making an allegation without looking to file any sort of police report, and that's a red flag for me as related to this entire whole allegation, because many women during the time of the Me Too movement, they love to go out and make these type of allegations and look to present this allegation in an effort to try to get compensation from the courts, and look to file these lawsuits in order to either get compensation from the lawsuit from an out-of-court settlement or a judgment from the courts. And we're not looking to, again, take a sexual predator off the streets, which you would think would be the main priority if you suffered as a victim of a sex crime. You would want to go out here and get justice as related to making sure this person doesn't harm anyone. But these women filing that civil lawsuit first is something that I see as a bit of a red flag, and them going through to do this in an anonymous fashion basically shows me that there is something going on here that might possibly be really fishy. Now, when I look at what these women making an allegation against Smokey Robinson, a man who, as 2014, was in his 70s and is about 85 years old, I mean, I don't know if I believe that this case, it did happen. Again, you would think that, again, an 85-year-old man wouldn't even be able to perform that way. I mean, when I look at this whole case, again, I look at it and I look at it with a side eye. And again, if Smokey Robinson were able to do this, again, you would think these women would have no problem being able to file a police report and again get criminal charges against him, because Smokey Robinson isn't a big wheel in Hollywood like a guy like Harvey Weinstein, who basically knew people in the LAPD. No, Smokey Robinson, like Bill Cosby, was just a black guy who made lots of music, and he isn't that heavily connected as related to Hollywood to have influence with individuals in the police department. That's what I really see, again, with many of these black entertainers. Again, people wanted to try to make that same narrative about Bill Cosby and wanted to make it and say that he was like that in the 1960s. But in the case of Smokey Robinson and Bill Cosby, again, black entertainers never had that kind of influence. No, they never had that kind of influence at all. And the whole idea of these people saying, oh, that could have been the case for them not filing these charges, that really is suspect to me, again, because the allegations take place in the era around the Me Too movement. And again, these women could have easily came out during the Me Too movement with these allegations at the height of the popularity of the Me Too movement, where women were making allegations against white men. They were making allegations against white men and basically leading to the destruction of those white men's personal reputations, professional reputations, and even cost them their careers. But these women basically say nothing over the course of 10 years after the Me Too movement, and that also has me looking at them with a side eye as related to these allegations that they are making. The fact that, again, they did not file a police report, the fact that they waited until after the Me Too movement was over, all of these allegations really seem quite suspect as related to their presentation, and the fact that they're filing these lawsuits anonymously also makes these allegations to me seem like they don't have that ring of truth, but seem more like a cash grab, and a cash grab based on the $50 million claim. It looks like to me maybe these women saw what that OnlyFans model make that allegation against Shannon Sharpe and get that lawsuit filed by Tony Busby, and saw her file that lawsuit for the $50 million, and are looking to go out here and get a similar number as related to compensation for themselves. That's what it's looking like to me is going on as related to these allegations made against Smokey Robinson. It's looking to me more like this is a cash grab and not really a real lawsuit. Because when I look at this whole case, again, you have Jane Doe number 1, who says an assault took place in March of 2023 and says that she experienced multiple assaults, but she does not go to the LAPD to file a police report. You have another woman who says that she worked for him from 2014 to 2020 and says that she had to deal with assaults that started in 2016, but no filing of a lawsuit at the height of the Me Too movement. And again, another woman from 2012 to 2024, again, says that she basically had to deal with this. Again, all of these take place during the era of the Me Too movement, most of them. Again, there's a fourth one that says she was in 2006 to 2024. And again, all of them saying this, but we have this Me Too movement going on. And these women could have easily said Me Too, gotten big press on the case, and possibly could have made Smokey Robinson to be one of the brutes of the month as related to that story. But we see these women being silent, and again, red flag to me. And that is a red flag because, again, you have them all looking to get this $50 million. Again, $50 million because they see this woman who was the OnlyFans model filed that lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe. And again, similar to what happened with Gretchen Carlson. I mean, the whole Gretchen Carlson thing derailed the whole campaign against black men and Me Too, because what they wanted to do with the Me Too movement was actually use it to go after black men like Bill Cosby. But once Roger Ailes paid $20 million to Gretchen Carlson, all the white women started to get caught up in their hypergamy and just started to make allegations against prominent white men, derailing the entire Me Too movement. And it's looking to me like this woman is looking to try to, again, hop on a bandwagon. These women are looking to hop on a bandwagon similar to the bandwagon that was made against Shannon Sharpe. And once they heard the $50 million number, they wanted to, again, see if they could get that money. But they may wind up getting the same amount of money as the accuser made against Jay-Z. Now, about a year ago, a woman wanted to make a claim that Jay-Z had violated her and looked to play the game of Jane Doe. but Jay-Z wound up pushing back and pushing back hard. And as he pushed back hard, he basically got the whole case dismissed because the woman did not want to reveal her name. Moreover, what happened was her father verified that the entire case was completely false. And after verifying that the case was completely false from the father's testimony, the entire case got thrown out. And I think the same thing could happen here as related to these allegations against Smokey Robinson, because Smokey is a very wealthy man from the years he's put in as a musician, and he basically will possibly fight back against these allegations and possibly will lead to her this blowing up in their face, because what happens with many of these women who file these lawsuits is that they're looking to get an out-of-court settlement similar to what Shannon Sharpe offered that OnlyFans model of $10 million. But these days, a lot of these women are getting greedy and thinking that they can take the case to court to get punitive damages, but may wind up with the whole case getting dismissed because they don't have any real evidence to substantiate their case. And again, even with the preponderance of the evidence in civil court, it may be very hard to prove this case because, again, you have to prove that this happened as related to the evidence. But what many women do is, again, file these cases hoping to get an out-of-court settlement, but it may not be the case because many more men are pushing back. And again, pushing back because they're making it where you just can't make allegations and use it to get a payday. That's what many men are doing these days. And Smokey Robinson may possibly be participating in developing a defense against him for himself and a defense for himself to defend against these allegations and defend against these allegations of this whole story that's looking quite suspect to me. That, again, if this man did this, again, you would think they would reveal this whole allegation during the time of the height of the popularity of the Me Too movement, where you had lots of people looking to support women, look to help women, but these women stayed silent until a week after the whole Shannon Sharpe drama, and that's where I look at their whole case and I see it as a possible cash grab meant to go out here and make money at the expense of Smokey Robinson, get that settlement to get paid, and again, look to get that settlement to get paid. But that's not justice, because if something like this happened, you would think that people would want to see this person put in jail as related to things. But this is why when you are a man, you need to protect yourself. In any job, any job that you have, you need to protect yourself and maintain your professional distance. This is what I tell men to do in my book, Stop Simping in the Workplace. I tell men how to identify workplace predators and put boundaries between yourself, and also make sure you got cameras recording everything in your home. When you have people working for you, you want to have cameras everywhere to record their behavior so that they cannot go out here and make claims of things happening that didn't happen. You really got to have documents and things there to protect your reputation, protect your image and your brand. And again, you have people making these claims against an 85-year-old man. Again, one as far back as 2023. Again, just 2 years ago. Again, I look at this case and I don't really see how it's possible, again, for an 85-year-old man to, again, participate in these repeated, again, cases. Again, you would think anybody would call the police and file police reports and make sure that things are going. Again, you would want to say under oath, and that's a red flag for me, that no one wants to ever say under oath that something happened. Because if you go under oath in a criminal court and you lie, it's perjury, and you can be prosecuted for that, and if there's evidence to prove it. And that's what makes these claims to be suspect to me, because if something like this happened, you would think you would want to, again, see this person put away. But what I'm seeing these days is that a lot of older women, once they age out of the entertainment business, they want to get themselves a final payday at the case of a guy who's in entertainment, want to get paid and want to play someone, and that's what this sounds like. And again, this is what men have to deal with as related to things, and that's why more men are pushing back and other men are keeping their distance from women in the job or all who work for them. They keep complete distance from these people and keep people away from them. And in some cases, they will possibly are going to start hiring male butlers instead of female housekeepers to keep things on the level. Keep things on the level, because when it comes down to things, women these days, because of verdicts like the one in the Cosby trial, believe that they can still make these allegations. But the whole thing is, we need a legal interpretation of law to set a boundary for women that allows due process of law as related to these crimes that are committed. Because if you're going to accuse a man, then take him to criminal court, let him have his day in court to defend himself. Just don't go out here filing lawsuits just to try to get a payday, because that's extremely dishonest, and that's why we need legal interpretation of law to set a boundary for men and women, to let them know they're not going to use the courts to be a cash grab and get compensation for crimes that possibly never happen. Now, if you want to learn how to identify workplace predators, you can pick up my book, Stop Simping in the Workplace, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find it at other online booksellers like Draft the Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you'd like to see me make more videos about the workplace, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Esteemed Season of the Witch Girl. The aspiring angel takes on a wicked teenage witch in this action-packed, all-new Esteemed series adventure. Pick up your copy of Esteemed Season of the Witch Girl in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA from the Black Boule in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.